Hi, Shameless Squad. So I'm updating you all with a life update here, and this video being about how life is really tough right now. Things are happening in threes for me, but in a way that it's a lot of grief and loss. So I haven't gone live as much last week. I was getting through some sickness, some tiredness, all these just different Neptune transits. If you know, you know. If y'all have gone through your Neptune transits, let me know, like, how did you survive below? Like, when I had worked with an astrologer recently, she said, sleep is key, number one. That's like the shameless secret and the shameless tea when it comes to that, y'all. So I have just been having lots of third eye activations, crown chakra activations, trying to get enough rest, and I'm in this big transitional time and period in my life, and I don't have a stream of income other than YouTube right now, which I'm so grateful for. And I am grieving the loss of my car. Last week, I just I had to take my car in. I was going to get my nails done and everything like that, because you know your girl needs to get her nails done when she does her tarot reads and psychic reads for you on YouTube, because she talks with her hands and all the things, right? And I was going to get my nails done, and I'm driving my car back from my nail lady, and literally it smells like gas on the way. So I'm just like, what the heck is this? And so I'm driving this home for 20 minutes. I was gonna go to Costco, get some groceries. I'm just like, I cannot. I came home and I was just so out of it. I had such a bad headache. I literally felt like I could have lost consciousness. I literally was like, what is going on? Like, I'm somebody who pretty much has a lot of energy other than Mars retrograde. Yay, Cancers! Like, let's celebrate in the comments below. It's done. And everyone else, like, do you feel more energy? I know I do, but this was like last week, Thursday at the end of it. And I planned on doing some different lives and sharing some channel downloads and messages with all of you, and I couldn't. And I was just like, oh my gosh. So this headache, y'all, from this gas, what I found out was there was a gas leak in my exhaust in my car that was connecting to all the other parts of it that you literally need to have your car to run. And it was just so scary. And I had this headache for like 24 hours plus. And then I had to take my car on Thursday. And then I had to, on Friday, like, I was working with my spiritual team and guides and whatever. And I was like, do I go to this networking event tonight? And they were like, no. And I was like, okay, clearly Spirit's saying don't do it. And it's because I needed to see what my car was going to cost and everything like that on Friday and to go pick it up. Well, they wanted to charge me $6,166 and some change. And your girl knows her numbers. She knows. Capricorn rising much. And I'm like, my car isn't even worth that. And Shameless Squad, then yesterday, I was like, what do I do? So I'm crying. I'm grieving this loss of my car. And I had this car for about 9 years. It was a good car. It was old. She was my Black Beauty Bella. I loved her. And I just had to sell her yesterday. And so I have just been carless. And I was really thinking about this too. Like, there's so many options, and, you know, not having a therapy income anymore. I've been grieving loss of that. Not having coaching clients that were going to start. I've been grieving loss of that. Not having a car. I've been grieving loss of that. So things come in threes, at least for me, especially with grief and loss, especially with death and dying, especially losing friends, especially losing family members, just whatever. That's how it's been in my life. And so I just want to ask all of you to just please be gentle with yourselves if you're going through grief and loss or changes or major life cycle transitions. And, you know, I thought, okay, yes, I'm going through this whole business rebrand. I'm back out there. I'm going to be ready to like network and share. And the universe is like, no, you're good. Like, you need to maybe slow down a little bit. And now I see that, and I realize that, and I know that there was some sort of divine timing at play with what I meant to share with this world and this universe, with what I'm creating here. And so this is why I have not done reads, and this is why I really had to rest this weekend. I was not feeling well at all. And then I've just been trying to car search and do all these things here, right? And you don't realize how hard it is to grieve a car until you do it, and until you are like in the economy that we are in right now, right? Like, they are not cheap. And I was cleaning out my car this weekend, and I was just, you know, looking at the date that the car was bought, and it was 10/10, y'all. And then I was looking at the last time that I had it serviced. That was like the one time that I had a big weekend plan, but sure as shit, my car's like, no, you don't. You're not going to do it. And I was just like, oh my God, clearly I understand now why I wasn't supposed to go to that. But anyway, I was there, and whatever. Another story. That was the whole reason why I called being off maid of honor was that was the bachelorette weekend, and I saw things I didn't want to see. And so if you saw the previous video on that, go back, get the tea, whatever. It's probably under my vlogs, YouTube updates, things of that sort. But it was 11:11 last time I got the car serviced. I bought the car at 10:10, and then 11:11, I was the last time I got it serviced. And then I like lost the title. Like, I don't know how. I was like searching my house high and low this week, and I'm like, I would not have put it with my business stuff. My partner was like, well, did you put it with your business stuff? I was like, I wouldn't fucking do that. I know myself. That just sounds like a dumb idea. I checked our important documents like folder, and I'm like, I just don't know. So I need to go to the DMV. So I went to the DMV yesterday, and I'm grateful that my dad was able to give me a ride and like do that and everything. And I saw the angel number 444 on a license plate on a car there. So seriously, like threes, right? So through all this, I'm trying to be positive. I'm trying to hold out the hope. I'm trying to see the silver lining in these things here. And, I think spirit in these messages, when we get things not taken away from us, but kind of, it can feel that way. It's happening for us, not to us. It's a good lesson to kind of sit back and reflect on these things here. And with this in particular, for me, it's important to grieve the loss of car because people don't get it and realize it. Like with this car, like y'all, I was not allowed to work growing up unless it was with my father doing special education, physical education, special ed, phi ed, PE, whatever with my dad in the summers. That was my summer job, being his assistant. And that was just like my favorite job ever. It was so fun. And other than that, I was not allowed to work. And I was just like, I wanted to work to have a car, but like I was the baby in my family. So like the car before that, it was like my dad drove it, my mom drove it, my brother drove it. And then by the time Jackie drove it, it was a fucking shit show. And I had to deal with the fucking crap end of the stick. It just was used so hard, which is fine. And I'm grateful I was able to use that car. And I'm like, this was like the first car that was like my car. It was my baby. And I got so many life lessons out of this car. It had been with me through grad school, and then also driving to classes, like at one university like an hour away, another university an hour and a half away to get my sex therapy education certificate. I was in therapy at the time, and my therapist was like, how can you take care of yourself in your car when you're interning and driving all over to universities and separate schools? And I'm like, wow, that's really great. And that's when I learned like self-care in the car. I got to learn so much. Also, I was listening to TED Talks a lot, which some of y'all might be like, why are you doing that while driving? And you know what? I did it, whatever. And I learned a lot of information about sex, sexuality, and relationships just through that. And I learned really this gift also through this car of self-love here. I learned a lot about relationships in my car, which might sound really strange and weird, but it really taught me how a lot of relationships are like one-way streets. And some relationships won't go the distance with you. They won't be a two-way street. They won't come towards you. They won't drive. And this car, I've never really had pets. Like we were the house growing up that we watched other people's dogs and birds and stuff. And I guess we had birds at one point, but I was never like, oh my God, my birds, like wasn't like a pet to me. So I'm like, this is the only thing I can really relate this grief and loss to, is like something that is physically there for you that you can rely on, and that, is dependable. And it was mine. It was finally like my 100% car here. And did I let people borrow it, like family members and friends, like if they needed it? Like, yes, absolutely I did. And so Shameless Squad, I just want to let you all know, like I have just been with grieving the loss of this car. You grieve independence, right? Like you grieve, oh, I thought I was going to get this much money back on it, but you didn't. You grieve, the idea of it actually being like resurrected, right? And this was the third time that I actually needed to have like hardcore maintenance done on it. Last year in May, I had like 3 mice in it, and then 11/11, I had something, I don't remember what I got it serviced for, but I had to, get it done, and that was fine. And then like this third time, I was like, yeah, no, this car is super old, 2007, and has 214 miles on it. It is not worth $6,100. So this is something where it's like you lose a car, you lose independence, you kind of like lose this, feeling of, wow, what am I going to do here overall? And I'm really trying to just see the silver lining of this. And spiritually, the way I'm able to make meaning out of this is to really slow down, maybe give yourself this gift of slowing down even more so than you already do, because you do a lot, Jackie. And it's also okay to maybe say, I don't have to always go. I don't always have to, be somewhere, go somewhere, do something here. And I know that that's okay, right? It's just one of those things where it's easier to tell tell other people that rather than apply that for ourselves with life lessons. And I'm a person, I'm always learning, right? And for me right now, I'm just like, oh, I don't want to buy a new car during Venus retrograde and Mercury retrograde, y'all. So I'm legit looking at my options, and it's just been really, really hard the last week. And I don't want to say hard, I want to say tough, because I can make it hard on myself, and I'm not gonna lie, life can be tough. And I know I had the channel message download on my channel, like, life isn't hard, you make it that way. And that totally shifts things in perspective for me. So I could have looked at, you know, this car as like losing $6,100 by putting in that much work to it for it being that old, or I can look at it like, hey, I gained something back here with this. And this is something where I'm also learning that like less is more, and I really want to be able to cleanse my office, get rid of stuff, sell stuff, you know, and hopefully be able to pay for this car in that way, because I don't really know what I'm going to do. And it's also tax time soon, and I'm like talking to my accountant, I'm like, is there any way, shape, or form, because I'm a business owner, I do networking, like group events, I literally cannot go to this networking event on Friday because I didn't have my vehicle and I needed to go pick it up, right? Which is fine, whatever, cool. But I'm like, this is literally the reason, like the proof is in the pudding, and this is a big expense, right? So anyway, Shameless God, I'm just kind of vlogging with you this life update, talking out loud with my YouTube updates for all of you. It's been a lot of like cyclical transitions. I know that my mind, my body, my spirit, my soul would not have been able to give you all accurate channeled messages, readings, cards last week at all. And I know when I go live for 60 minutes, it's a lot for me. Like, I'm pulling, like, I was thinking about this. I was like, how many cards am I pulling, you know, energetically for the collective here on YouTube for 60 minutes or 40 minutes or sometimes more than 60, right? And don't get me wrong, I love the reads. I do. This is something where I'm just kind of re-evaluating how this channel is going to go and how I'm going to move forward with some of this stuff here. So I definitely just want to ask all of you to just please continue to support me. This is not always the easiest, being a content creator, and there's burnout, and there's trying to figure out how much do I share about myself here, you know, in my videos versus lives versus what does everybody kind of want. And there's just a lot happening. So go back yesterday, definitely drop me a heart in this comment below if you want me to continue to create, because this is something where I do need a little bit of support, some effort, some just whatever. And you know, YouTube pays you like once a month if you get to that point and pay out, and I have to check, you know, if I'm even there yet, and it takes months because it's ad revenue, and it's pennies, you know, on my channel. I'm not gonna lie to you. And I've gotten like a couple tips from all y'all, and that is so amazing, and I'm so grateful, and you're so generous. And it's just something where it slowly builds up, right? It's kind of like an investment. And I know that in order to go the distance, like for things that you want in life, like you have to slowly build up, right? Like the tortoise beat the hare in that story for a reason here overall. And so I'm trying to take it one step at a time. So I just ask all of you, just please continue to support me with your likes, your subscribes, your shares, your comments. Just if anything resonates with you, just send it to someone. Like, see if they find, you know, meaning in these messages, or other people out there as well. I know that I have chosen to close my readings right now, continuing with that because and my bookings, just because I am in this transition, and I know I have to, and I want to authentically be able to show up for all of you in regards of these reads here. I've gotten some channeled messages, which I'm excited to share just for the collective. So I might go live with some of those this week. I did the new moon video yesterday, so definitely go watch that, check it out, tell me how you like it, tell me how you're feeling about the new moon this week. It's a really great time and everything like that for those energies to arrive, so I'm excited for it. And I also have a Venus retrograde one that's a longer video. I give you a lot of information in that one specifically, and I may go live to share another download that I got. It's a long one, I'm not gonna lie. So that's something where it's collectively there's a lot going on relationally, and this download started and then I just was able to finish it. So I'm just excited to share all these things with you. So Shameless Squad, just thank you all for support, your patience, everything. Life cycle transitions are definitely tough. I'm trying to allow myself to laugh, to cry, to, feel all these things here. And I know sometimes, one of my psychic mentors said to me, sometimes things, when you're on this path with spirituality, things are just, taken from you, or for no reason. And I've had people be taken from me past couple of years or so. A lot of them, if you watched how Pluto affected your girl, y'all, Capricorn rising, not a sun or a moon. So I'm grateful I still have my mom and my dad here in this world and everything like that, but I lost so many people, right? And I've had to completely just rebuild those relationships. And anyway, I don't know where I was going with that one, I'm forgetting, but this is something where I just want to say thank you for your support. Pluto retrograde, losing people, losing whatever, but I'm just like losing something that is so independent for me as a Capricorn rising is just really, really tough here. So again, please be gentle on yourself. I don't know about all of you, 2025 feels like the beginning of like 2020 again, and I'm gonna share more about me, my stories, and we're gonna take it back overall. And it's just very interesting to think about all these different types of things here in regards to grief and loss, things happening in three, life lessons from my car, and sharing just psychic downloads, channeled messages, and wisdom with all of you and life experiences. And I hope that you like it. So if you do like this video, definitely smash the like button, hit subscribe, come back for more, be part of my Shameless Squad. Definitely, please just send me your well wishes, your prayers, your thoughts, your support. Drop me a heart in the comments below too if you are here for it, because then I will get that, momentum to come back and rebuild, slowly and slowly and slowly, and slow and steady wins the race. So Shameless Squad, happy Tuesday. I love you. Maybe I will see you later on today, boo, in the live. So definitely smash subscribe and turn the notification bell else on. 37% of y'all are not subscribed, and like only 11% of you have your bells turned on. So I need you to turn the notification bell on so you can come hang out with me when I do go live or when I do upload videos, especially the new moon one yesterday, because the tarot part read of it, so good for the collective energies. Like, I'm claiming that shit for myself here, y'all. Okay, but I just want to say I love you, and as always, stay tuned for more and stay shameless, boo.